Zounds University, bringing together the best people, hearing instruments, and training. Hi, I'm Zach, a ZHC with Zounds University. Today at Zounds University, we'll be talking about one of the most important functions that we perform at our offices, answering the patient's first call. The patient's first call is of vital importance because it's the only opportunity we'll have to make a first impression on our patients. It's also very likely to be the only opportunity we'll have to schedule a hearing evaluation. For these reasons and many others, handling the patient's first call is a skill that every ZHC and CSR will need to master. Although you may already be familiar with some of the practices and techniques we're about to discuss, continuous improvement is a goal that all of us should aspire to as we seek to better serve our patients with their hearing health and grow our business. In this part of the module, you'll be seeing and hearing a presentation covering the main points of handling the patient's first call. In a later part of this module, you'll be viewing video recordings of simulated interactions with patients over the phone and will have an opportunity to complete a brief quiz demonstrating your understanding of the concepts and best practices we'll be covering. As the final segment of the module, you'll be recording a simulated call and uploading it to Zounds University for evaluation. So let's get started. First, it's a good idea to answer the phone on or before the third ring. This lets the patient know that we take their call seriously and have a sense of urgency about meeting their needs. Also, remember to smile and be excited that you will be the first step in helping your patient to improve their hearing health. This may not come naturally. Sometimes it can be helpful to place a mirror next to your phone as a way of checking yourself. A smile can easily be heard in the way you speak. Remember that 70% of what you say is communicated through the tone of your voice and body language. Next, be sure to introduce yourself to the caller with something brief yet professional. Something like, "Hello, this is Zounds Hearing, Zach speaking, how can I help you?" Lastly, it's very important to obtain the patient's name and telephone number in case you get disconnected. This can also be very valuable information for us as we perform a follow-up call with a potential patient. Next, let's talk about building a rapport with the caller. Remember to call the prospective patient by their last name 2 or 3 times during the call. Additionally, you'll want to ask what type of advertisement they're calling from and what caught their attention about the ad. Make sure that you're familiar with every advertisement that has been sent out for your location every week. Do not ever get caught off guard. You can only answer their questions properly if you know what ad they're talking about. It's okay to discuss price or a specific offer with your patient over the phone when asked, as long as you're prepared. Don't forget to ask your patient if this is the first time they'll be having their hearing tested. And now for the most important part of the first call and the number one responsibility of the CSR, booking the test. Given the thousands of dollars that each of our locations spends for marketing each month, every call from a potential patient costs us several $100s and carries with it the possibility of thousands of dollars in revenue from the initial sale, repeat business, and referrals. And most importantly, scheduling a hearing evaluation is the only way we have to help people hear better. First, try to make the appointment a minimum of 3 times until the prospective patient commits. Be persistent. Next, always give the impression that the office is busy, but we're happy to squeeze the patient in. Give them a choice of 2 available time slots like 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Also, always try to book the appointment within 24 to 48 hours, even if you have to move another service appointment to schedule a new patient. Try to find out 2 to 5 things about why they're coming in to see you about their hearing loss. Write notes in Task Manager and notate the chart for your ZHC. Lastly, try to avoid becoming too technical over the phone. Keep in mind the dental analogy. When you call your dentist's office with a toothache, the person answering the phone doesn't start offering treatment options about root canal or crown replacement. The main objective of the person answering the phone is to schedule the appointment, and so is yours. The next important part of the scheduling process is scheduling the third party to attend the hearing evaluation. To do this, we ask, who will you be bringing with you to the hearing test? If the patient resists this idea or asks why it's necessary, just explain that we'll be performing a familiar voice test as part of the hearing evaluation, and having the spouse or loved one present with a familiar voice will help us provide the highest quality hearing test. Lastly, you'll want to provide clear and accurate directions to your location, along with the name of any anchor stores or landmarks near your location. As you conclude the call with your patient, here are a few key points to remember. First, thank the patient for making the appointment. Next, let your patient know once again what your name is and tell them that you'll be calling them the day before the appointment to remind them of the appointment time for the next day with the third party. The entire call to schedule the appointment should take between 3 and 5 minutes, so keep it brief. Be persuasive and persistent. We can't help the patient if we can't test them, so ask yourself, are you going to sell your patient on making an appointment, or are they going to sell you? Lastly, remember that you are the patient's first impression and the only one that counts until they walk into your office. Well, that concludes this segment of our training module. Please be sure to complete the remaining segments as shown in Zounds University. Thank you.